But right now, where you at right now? You've been making music in the city of Orlando, man. City of, Florida,
Yes, sir.
to be exact. What could you say about promoting your music in a city that's not, as big when it comes to, the music? I know it's a few, rappers out of Orlando. I ain't going to, disregard them. But, for the most part, it's somewhat of a challenge trying to, promote music in Orlando.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a place where you could stay permanently and grow, or you feel like you have to venture out to a new city to get your name out there?
I mean, it's really not that much different from home because, from back home, like, we only had one artist blow like that, and that was the Baby. Yeah. Shout out BDB, $1 Billion Baby. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, like, where I'm from, like, man, there ain't too many, like before the Baby, who was it, Petey Pablo? Yeah, like, bro, there ain't many, there wasn't many rappers that come out of my city, so it's like, like, I think Orlando's a lot better than, Charlotte, North Carolina when it comes to the music scene. But especially because, you know what I'm saying, I got the school and like a lot of people doing music production and things of that nature up at the school. So it's, I think it's a lot better than home. But me, I be so much in my own world. I don't be like thinking like, oh, it's so hard. Like, man, I'm just out here trying to get it done, really. And, promoting my music, I do all I can. I hand out cards. I try to post as much as I can. I'm not really that much like into like social media, so I could do better.
I mean, that's where you gonna have to go.
Yeah. I'm trying to get better. I've done an open mic out here. That went well.
Okay.
I'm sure at least if one person learned about me from that night, bro, job well done.
That's what I'm saying,
like,
man.
Every little bit counts. But just taking those baby steps, like I said, like everything that's gonna help when I do get to the big stage, because you don't want to just, bro, snatch him up, throw him in front of 30,000 people, bro, you gonna have a heart attack.
That's why I told you it's a blessing, bro. It's a
blessing. You gonna have a heart attack, bro. Like, some people built like that, bro. Me personally, bro, because like, bro, I'm like sort of reserved, and like, you feel me, like just like
laid back type, just waiting.
Kind of standoffish, to be honest. I just like, you know what I'm saying, just like I said, man, taking those steps that's gonna prepare me for that.
You did, I get that, and I didn't mean to cut you off for that one.
No, you good, man. Go ahead.
You said something about performing. You did perform at, I don't know, what was the location that you performed at? If you remember.
Out here, it was a small spot. It was a little burger bar.
Okay, that's still something.
Out in Oviedo. Had a little stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
my question is, are you the type of person that freezes up? And when I say freeze up in front of a crowd, I mean like, cause you can't just. Do you move around on stage?
Yeah.
Are you moving with your hands?
All that.
Oh, okay.
I'm a very lively person when I perform. I'm still working on it. I think the more that I do it, the better I'll get. But yeah, man, I'm not like in a box, just
standing.
Yeah, like no, I move. Like I touch the crowd. Like I get in there, bro. Like I pick somebody out of the crowd and just like, especially the girls, I sing right to them. Especially when I have one of those songs on where it's like, I'll let you know I see you, like. And I think that's gonna like be like one of those things about me, like when I do get there, that's just like, oh, like he looked dead at me in the crowd and he threw me his shirt, or he like, bro, like ain't no telling what I'll do.
Oh man.
Like, bro, for real, bro, like I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Like, you feel me? Cause like sometimes, especially cause I'm a fan of music, I'll hear about people, like artists that I love, and be like, oh, you ever seen them perform live? Like, oh, it went good. Oh, like I'm like, man, like. Bro, I needed it to be just as good as it sounds like when you listen to it on SoundCloud. When you see it in person, bro, I think it needs to be better. Cause people done spent hard-earned money, bro. You can listen to it for free, but if somebody actually comes out to see you, oh, bro, you gotta turn up, bro. You better put it on.
You gotta turn up.
And that's one of the big things though about performers.
Yeah.
That's like they make the money, they'll put the music, they'll make the music in the recording studio, but when they go out, sometimes the energy is not reciprocated. When you go out in front of a crowd, So my question is to you, who would you say that you've seen is probably the best performer in a crowd, and like, you know, like a Rolling Loud or a Summer Jam Fest?
I've only been to 2 concerts in my life.
Okay.
Can't believe it. As much as I love music, bro, I've only been to 2. I went to the Rolling Papers tour in Charlotte. It was Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, and Chevy Woods.
Okay.
This was back in 2011. Me and all my bros went. It was around my birthday. I remember my dad bought me the tickets for my birthday present. And then this year, the One of Them Ones tour, I went and seen Chris Brown and Lil Baby perform live. So
what was that like?
Come on, bro.
What was that like? I gotta know. Hold on,
bro.
What was that like? Chris Brown?
Yeah, nah. All right, so I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else that asks me about the show. Like, they're performing songs that I knew every word to.
Okay.
But like the fact that like, bro, it's really like live and I'm here and like, bro, that's that nigga right there. Bro, there was times I was just like, and when I snapped out of that shit, like, yeah, I started singing along and it's just like, bro, but there was times, bro, like, I was like, man, this shit ain't real, bro. And then to look around and see all the people, it's like, I'm like, man, like, bro, like stuff like this really happens. Like I said, I've only been to 2. And those were like, damn near over 10 years apart. 2011 is 2022, bro, that's 10 years 11 years. Damn. So like, bro, I was out there like, man, mind blown, captivated.
I've never been
to a concert. That's why I'm always asking, because I don't, me personally, I just don't. It's cool. I would love to sing along, we know, with my favorite artist XYZ, but it's I just don't like the crowd of 15,000 people. If I'm not like in a suite section and I got like at least my group of people that I'm with and I'm just listening, I'll do that. But if you want me down like in the general admission, nah, I can't do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. You feel me? I need that. You feel me? That's how I like to listen to my music. You know, with my 5 friends, and we just all chilling, having a good time. But since we're speaking on performers and performances and venues, you mentioned a couple. I threw out 2, Summer Jam Fest, Rolling Loud. If you had to pick, you know, what would be your most, I don't want to say memorable, but your most, which venue do you want to perform at the most out of those that I just gave?
Venues or like show?
So
you said Rolling Loud.
Like something like Rolling Loud, yeah.
I'm not sure what venue they do, but I think like the top of the top, like that I can name is to be Madison Square.
You going
MSG?
MSG?
I think that, or you know, do people perform at the Apollo? Do you know?
Oh, you gonna say that? You gotta bring it.
Yeah, I think Bryson Tiller performed at the Apollo.
Not that many people do it.
Yeah, so I would say MSG or the Apollo. Of course, I throw my hometown in there. We got Spectrum Arena where the Charlotte Hornets play. Okay. So I think it would be dope to do something there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather sell out Madison Square Garden or the Spectrum Arena? I know that's your hometown, but Madison Square Garden.
I have to sell out MSG.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't taking nothing away from. Hey, Charlotte, I love y'all to death.
MSG is different.
I gotta sell out MSG.
Madison Square Garden.
That's a different bag.
Nigga,
we talking New York money.
New York City.
Everything more expensive in New York.
You know, tickets, some floor seat tickets.
Can we talk about it?
Please, trust me. I know. I live there. Trust me. I know how much some floor seats are just for a simple comedy show. So I know how much it would be if you was able to perform in that arena. I remember, I think A Boogie, I think his first performance was in front of MSG. I think Drake brought him out.
I think, who was it? I think Rod Wave just sold out MSG. I think Rod Wave just sold out MSG. That crowd was crazy.
It's just the feeling that you get from your fans, the screaming crowd, they just sing your songs. I think that's what I hear most people say, that like most artists, that's what they get.
You never been? You being from New York, you never been?
To the Garden?
Yeah. I mean, like,
I've been to the Garden at least about 4 or 5 times. But never in no concert type thing. But I would assume that artists they love that feeling when you singing your song and the crowd knows it's the lyrics and everything and they singing it.
Right.
So just having Madison Square Garden singing that's like Mama I Made It to a certain degree.